It's Monday. You made it. A whole new week. You can do this. I don't know what's on your plate today, and I don't know what's on your plate for this week, but I know that you are more than capable to do the hard things, to do the day in and day out. You are more than capable of being who God created you to be. So, one of the things I want to share with you today is about, my love for Emily P. Freeman. I really hope that Emily and I can be friends in real life, not just subliminally or in my thoughts. Emily P. Freeman is an author. She has written A Million Little Things, which I have talked about greatly. And then she's written a couple other books, but one of the ones I had just finished reading was The Next Right Thing. Well, I've talked about this because this is all about decision making and how we are debilitated by making decisions. And sometimes we want to make decisions that we know God is leading us to, but those are hard decisions. Well, two things that I want you to notice about Emily, my friend Emily. One, I think she gives great advice on making decisions, big or small decisions, so that we are not held captive by the decision-making process. She has, in one of the chapters in the book, she says, ask this question before every hard decision. So, say you are facing a move, or a job change, or divorce, or a financial change, or taking on the caregiving of parents, or medical decisions. Any hard decision, she says, ask yourself this question. Am I being led by love or pushed by fear? I think that's a very thoughtful thing to think about. So much in life, we make decisions. You're facing a bajillion decisions today alone because it's Monday. What's your week gonna look like? Your job requires a million decisions of you, not to mention your family life, your personal life, your spiritual life, your church life, whether you're a mom or you're a grandparent, whether you're a caregiver or you are a student, whoever you are, the decisions coming your way today will feel like an avalanche at times. It is hard to make decisions, especially the right decisions, when we are following Christ. It's hard sometimes to know what the right thing is. So let me give you some encouragement. One, if you are facing a hard decision today, ask yourself the question that Emily presented in her book, The Next Right Thing. Am I being led by love or pushed by fear in making this decision? And then see what comes from your answer. But also, I don't know how many of you know this, but Emily has a podcast, and it's called The Next Right Thing Podcast. You can find it on any of your podcast listening devices. I have an iPhone that has an app that I can search for all kinds of podcasts through Apple. And this is where the technology part will get the better of me, so I'll have to figure out a better way to explain it at some point. But she has a podcast that's usually 10 minutes or less a day, kind of like what I'm doing here, but it's about decision making. And her voice is calm and comforting, and she helps you to settle down in your panic and in your decision making. I would highly recommend listening to this podcast. You can easily listen to this as you're running your errands, driving to work, getting ready in the morning. It is a quick little podcast, and it comes out weekly. So every Tuesday there's a podcast, but you can go back and listen. She's been doing it now, I think, for 3 or 4 years. So you can go back and listen to several really, really good podcasts. This kind of goes along with what I've been telling you about. You need to be putting good in your head. Mondays are hard, and the decisions that are going to face you today are going to be a lot, in many ways overwhelming. One, I believe that you can do all things because God is in you. But I also know that sometimes hard decisions, they can be overwhelming, and we can't even see the good. We can't even feel God in the middle of those situations. Ask yourself the question, am I being led by love or by fear in making this decision? And see if that helps. And if that does not bring clarity, which for me it already has, then tune into her podcast, The Next Right Thing Podcast, and see if that will put some good in your brain and put some good in your decision making. Either way, I believe you can do this week. I believe you can do the hard things you are facing. I wish you the best of luck and grace and blessings of joy today as you face your Monday. Know that you are loved and you are prayed for. Wherever you are and whatever you are doing, may you truly experience joy and laughter and love from God above when you look up.